Hi everybody, my name is Bob Trezise. I'm President and CEO of LEAP, Lansing Economic Area Partnership, which is our amazing regional economic development agency for Greater Lansing, Michigan, Ingham, Eaton, and Clinton County. We work on economic development projects and initiatives. I'm holding up today a really cool poster for Second Shift, which is a terrific, amazing read and book that just came out. It's been authored by David Hollister and Ray Tadgerson, along with Thomas Halt and David Klaus from Michigan State University. I happened to read the whole book last night from start to finish. It's all about the amazing historic retained GM effort when the entire community, region, economic development, politics, townships, cities, university, everyone came together 15 years ago when GM announced that it was closing all of its GM plants. And of course what we got out of that entire effort was 2 brand new technologically advanced plants here that are employing well over 5,000 people and families right now, plus 20,000 or more people in supplier plants around the entire region. And it's a business model that's very effective. I got so many nuggets out of reading this about how to come together and put together an inclusive and strategic initiative to work within the confines of a crisis. And this was a true crisis when GM was leaving Lansing. And of course today it's an amazing story, a shining star. And really we've built an entire economy, new economy, ironically a diversified economy based on this work. We would be an entirely different region and town if GM had left and those 2 new plants were not here. We would be really in dire straits. Instead, because of the work of David Hollister and Ray Tadgerson, Jack Davis, Joe Drolette, so many people came together and we're a much different community today. On September 22nd, there's going to be a terrific party about this book, the coming of this book, at REO Museum in downtown Lansing. But you can go online or go to bookstores, and the book is available now. I really recommend that you buy the book. All right, some other really good news. LEAP had a bunch of great announcements. I'll stick with one important one from last week. The Small Business Administration, the federal agency that works on small business programs, named one economic development agency in the state of Michigan for a Business Accelerator grant program and loan program, and that was to LEAP. And if you recall it a year ago, our region did not have any Business Accelerator programs. What is Business Accelerator? This is an equity investment fund in business startup companies, and LEAP's is called Lansing Proto. LEAP owns, this is a Lansing Proto, the subsidiary of LEAP, and this program invests equity-wise actual money into product-based, technology-based startup companies, and we're the only one in the state of Michigan that does that. We were the first one in our region. Detroit has several. Jackson, I think, has one. I know Grand Rapids has several. I think even Traverse City has one. Lansing didn't have any, and so LEAP created this. Thank you to our members for contributing the dollars so far to get this up and running. We invested in 2 companies. They're going fantastic. The idea is to take a product-based startup company in our region from idea to marketplace in a short, tight 8-month time frame. And then we also invest equity funds into these companies. Well, we got a $50,000 grant to support the operations for this important initiative and program. What's even better is MSU has also joined with a terrific program as well, very similar, called Conquest. And so now, last year we had 0 initiatives like this in Lansing area. Today we have 2. So congratulations to Tony Willis, our director here in the New Economy Division, for this big achievement. We thank the Small Business Administration. We thank Senator Stabenow and Senator Peters for helping us. You recall just 2 weeks ago we had Senator Stabenow as well as the SBA Administrator, the Cabinet Secretary, here in our LEAP offices. So it's a great achievement for LEAP. It just shows the kind of cutting-edge economic development that LEAP is leading the way in our entire region. And so this is part of our entrepreneurial ecosystem, and it's going to be really terrific and a very important investment by SBA in this LEAP Lansing Proto Business Startup Program. I was down at the Michigan Economic Developers Association conference 2 weeks ago. We stayed in the book Cadillac, And I was thinking about the book Cadillac, and as well as this Second Shift book about GM and incentives. 15 years ago, when I led the community assistance team, the CAT team at the Michigan Economic Development Corporation, one of our first projects, especially by a gentleman by the name of Randy Thalen, who was so passionate about downtown Detroit. This is before Detroit was cool, before there was Dan Gilbert, before all of that. Detroit led an effort, and MEDC was a partner on the book Cadillac building. And there were 27 incentives involved, and there were fits and starts and stops. So much criticism. People thought, some people thought we should do it. Some people thought it captured their imagination. Others thought we should not do it. It wouldn't make a difference. Too much in incentives. Detroit couldn't come back. What difference does it make? You know, etc. But the point is, 15 years later, I can't believe that conversation had taken place. The building is up and running. It's amazing. It was sold out. It was one of the leading projects in downtown Detroit. It's unimaginable that the project wasn't done. And so, you know, the discussion is as appropriate as it was about the cost of the incentives, and of course I always argue there is no cost to incentives, but the proof is in the pudding. 15 years later, it's unimaginable to think that we wouldn't have done the project then, because it's so important of a building to downtown Detroit, kind of led the way in downtown Detroit as far as doing rehabilitating buildings and beginning to rework on the revitalization of downtown Detroit. And when I was reading the Second Shift book, there was the same moment there in the story where there was a discussion about Delta Township contributing $1 million or not to, I forget, it was a sewer, you know, prospect, a sewer problem as part of the GM, and there was some hesitancy. It was a lot of money. It is. There was an appropriate discussion, but GM walked out of the room and said, forget it. Well, GM, thank God Delta Township decided, okay, the $1 million is worth it. And of course, what we have today is nearly $1 billion plant with thousands of families working there, contributing huge money to our tax base, the multiplier effect to our entire community. I mean, it makes, you know, we can get so caught up penny wise, pound foolish in thinking about $1 million for a sewer line or an extra layer of incentives on a book Cadillac building, but it's unimaginable not to do those things, to make those small public investments as a partnership with the private sector, and what you get later on into the future. And both the GM plants in Lansing and the book Cadillac plant in Detroit are prime examples of important partnership. A small amount of investment at that time in partnership has resulted in gigantic private sector investment and benefit to the communities. It's something we really need to think about when talking about incentives. It's not just a financial gap review. There's so much more to incentives than that, and it's just food for thought, I thought, for everybody. This Thursday, we want to thank Jackson National Life at the Boys and Girls Club in South Lansing at 2 p.m. on Thursday. They will celebrate the grand opening of the Jackson Teen Zone. Over 1,500 Lansing teens will be in this facility doing homework and working on college and career prep and so much more, improving their lives in the heart of our South Lansing city. Thank you to Jackson National Life for your, I believe it was a $600,000 investment in this facility, creating the Jackson Teen Zone at the Boys and Girls Club in South Lansing. On September 15th, Hayes Green Beach has this annual gala from 7 to 10 o'clock at the Alive Center, which is a great opportunity to give a little money, do a little donation, have a lot of fun at the Alive Center, celebrating the incredible work that Hayes Green Beach is doing in the Charlotte area community and throughout our entire three-county area. It's a wonderful healthcare system, and it's always a great opportunity for LEAP to participate in this event with Matt Rush and the whole gang down there at Hayes Green Beach and the Alive Center. I also want to say a big congratulations and thank you for a continuing vision about placemaking to Dr. Brent Knight and the LCC Board of Trustees. They have come to an agreement with the Granger Corporation, thank you, the Granger Foundation, to build a 7-story clock tower at the gateway into downtown Lansing at LCC campus. This is going to be an amazing structure. If you haven't seen, by the way, the new $65 million in mass improvements, interior interior and exterior to the place that is the LCC campus. Without any question, one of the finest community college campuses now in America, and a beautiful gateway into downtown Lansing as well, by the way. You really got to check it out. It's actually totally transformational, both to downtown and to LCC's campus and their learning environment as they continue to attract students from around the state of Michigan. But this is going to be another really great addition. We also were so pleased and want to thank Capital Area Michigan Works for having here in our LEAP offices huge big meetings with companies from across the 3-county area about STTF, which is a job training grant fund that's available every year through application to the state of Michigan, and it has to be done through Capital Area Michigan Works. This is an incredible opportunity for companies, and not just manufacturing, to receive quite a bit of money for their job training activities at their businesses. Please contact Brent Case here at LEAP if you'd like more information. You're a company that needs to know more about this. Brent at purelansing.com. That's it, everybody. Have a wonderful week.